Hi, Uzma. Here's a walk that I think you and your bro might enjoy. And I'm just going to walk you around it a bit here. Um, this is the top of Cader Ridge, and this is the whole Cader Ridge. And I'm recommending that if you're only looking for a one night stay, just down here behind this ridge, and I'll show you in a minute, it's a really nice hotel called the Gwen and Lake Hotel. And I think they charge something like 50 quid a night, bed and breakfast. And there's a little country road that runs along this valley, and then by various routes down there and down there, it drops down to this road. And just down here, off the map in this direction, is a town called Barmouth, which is on the seaside, and it would be great for your sister-in-law to take the kids. And if they want to do a little bit of walk, there's some lakes here. So my suggestion is that you all pile in the car and drive along to, to this point, where you and your bro jump out and start the walk. Excuse me, I've got hiccups. And then your sister can go off down there and look after the kids. And the walk, the walk is a ridge walk. And this goes up a track that's known romantically as the Black Road. To this point here, you might be able to cut this corner off, but this is a pretty steep grass scramble. And I think if I was doing it, I would walk up to this point. Now here you follow a fence up onto the top, and although this doesn't show this on the ridge, actually it is right on the very ridge. I don't quite know why the maps, the 3D views, showing it like that. Along to a point called the Saddle. Now at this point you've got a choice. You can go to the top of Cader and come down the pony track, and the pony track comes right out in front of your hotel. Or from here you can come down. Sorry, this is the Fox's path. This is the Fox's path. Or from the Saddle you can come down the pony track and back along the road. The path that goes to the top of Cader and comes down here is best part of 10 miles and 3,000 feet of ascent. The path that comes down here is the best part of 7.5 miles and 2,000 feet of ascent. Personally, I would take this, and depending on how long you think it would take to walk either of those and how long your sister-in-law is going to be happy with the kids, I would come down here. And the reason I would come down here, partly it's quicker, partly I will pretty much guarantee from this point to this point you won't see a soul. You will have totally fabulous views from this ridge towards the direction that we're looking from. Just amazing. Down here in this valley there is a river called the Avon Morach, and it's a beautiful, beautiful estuary. You'll be able to see out to sea in this direction. You'll be able to see all the way across to Snowdon, and you won't see a single person from there to there. However, from there to the top, it'll be mighty crowded. It always is. Not as bad as Snowdon, but even so. The other thing to say is that when you come with us on the trip in August, we will be summiting Cader. We will be going up this path here to the top, but we'll be doing it in the dark. We won't get to the top until dawn, and we'll be going down the other side. But we will also, as a walk, go up this path as far as that lake and back down again. So you will have done Fox's path. And this is a steep scree slope. This is come down on your backside and tear holes in your trousers stuff. It's not very far, but it's not very pleasant. So there's my suggestion. So let's have a look around this map, which is always interesting. Oh, while we're going this way, come on. There's the river estuary that you can see from the top of the ridge. Okay, the Mordach estuary as it's known. Okay, let's go forward a little bit and let's go towards the hotel. I always go the wrong way. So the hotel is here. It's called the Grand and Lake Hotel. You can see that this 3D doesn't get it always right because it looks like the lake itself is on a slope. So let's come round and look at the whole walk in 2D. So your sister's bringing you along in the car. Depending on how comfortable she is driving down steep hills, she could dump you there and you walk all the way up the Black Road, the 4th yourselves. Either way, it's going to be fairly steep. But let's go forward, 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 forward. But my recommendation is that she drops you at that point and then she drives off down there to Barmouth. And this Black Road, 4th, spelled FFORDD, is 4th, and DDU is pronounced the 4th D. The is the Black Road. This is kind of like a gravelly track. I have driven it, but slowly. So we come up to here. This point here, you recognise there's a gate on the road there. There's a slight pull-off if you are driving. There's a forest on this side of this fence and amazing views out in this direction. So at this gate you just follow the fence line, and as I say, if you want to cut this corner off, I wouldn't cut it off too soon because these are rocks that you won't get past. All of a sudden it goes from a walk to a technical, but you might cut the corner off by going up here. But as I say, this is a pretty steep grass scramble, but that's really up to you. You follow the fence line, and it's important to follow the fence line quite closely because there are a couple of fences that come out this way, and there are stiles. So there's one there and there's another one that for some reason isn't marked on the map. So we follow the fence line along, follow it along, and I think the other stile is about there. And to say the 3D's gone slightly wrong here because this is actually up on the ridge, and that is a moderately steep climb up to the Tulch Irogov, which is the ridge of the cave, but I've been up there any number of times, never did find the cave. And you can, if you look at the contours here, you can see that this is actually the top, so this is just something that's gone wrong with the 3D drawing. But all of this path is indeed on top of this ridge. That's quite a steep little climb, so if you're looking for some summiting, there's a bit of summiting there, and a bit more there. These are called the Tirai Mawr, the tall towers. This ridge is fantastic. As I say, if we come around, you'll be able to appreciate the view that you've got across here and out to the lakes. So just for further reference, your hotel is there, and your sister will have driven you along this road, and if she's not too sure about driving down steep hills, she might have wanted to drop you there, or she might have wanted to turn around at this point and go back to there. It's still pretty steep down that way, but this is probably slightly steeper. Okay, so let's go along this ridge. Go forward, forward, and then after the Tirai Mawr, you drop down to the saddle here, and this is the point where you meet people. And I said in an email to you that there's most people talk about 3 ways of going up Cader, and the 3 ways they talk about are this one, the pony track that comes up to here and goes to the top, and that is unbelievably boring. We will be doing that in August, but we will be doing it in the dark, which means that A, you won't see it being boring, and B, it'll be significantly less boring because it's dark. The other way people talk about is going up the Foxes, I've been up Cader so many times I can't count. I've been up Foxes so many times I can't count, but I've never been from Foxes to the top because this scree slope is just horrible. I've been down it a couple of times, but never up. Mostly, and the third way that most people talk about coming up Cader is the way that we will be going down in August, which is around here over this ridge and disappearing off down the back there to Minfos. But the way that I always go up if I'm coming up is actually up here, up the back of Cader, up this path, up to the saddle. And very often I'm staying down over that way somewhere, so I come up onto the ridge from the other side, walk along the ridge from there and back down again. It's quite a nice 11-mile walk. Anyway, so let's move forward a bit again and get a better sense. Go forward there so we can see over the edge. Come on, come on, come on. So at this saddle here, if you want the shorter walk, you just go down. There's some steps down here. It curves down and go down the pony path to the road. It's very clearly marked, and then back along the little road to your hotel. But if you really, really want to summit on that day, then other way. There we go. Just follow this. It's a fairly boring track. It's very well walked. Until you get to the top of Cader, and again the map's gone slightly odd. It looks as though that's the top of Cader, but it's not. I promise you this is. Actually this here is the top of Cader. You can see it marked on the map, Cader. But you could follow around. This is a point where it's really a good idea to have a GPS because it's not clear where Fox's path actually comes down the scree slope. Just as a matter of reference, I was talking about where we're going in August, the other way down, and that is the Minfforth path going down here, over the top of this ridge, down past this amazing corrie lake called Clinkai, down here and over the back and down to Minfforth. Anyway, once you're down this horrid scree slope, and it's probably only 20 minutes or something like that, I don't know. From there it's a nice walk past these two lakes down to the Llangrennan Hotel. In August, one of our walks is from the Llangrennan Hotel up to here and back again, and we're also planning to have an evening meal in the Llangrennan Hotel in August. And just as a point of reference, where we're staying in August is over here somewhere. So there's that in 3D. Let's have a look at it now on an ordinary map, and let's zoom out a little bit to 50,000. So here's the Llangrennan Hotel. Drive along to drop you off there, and then the choices that your sister's got is to come back to here. There's a car park there, and you can do a nice little walk kind of around this area if she wants to do that with the kids, or she can come down and go to Barmouth. Now I just realised that one of the problems with going to Barmouth is you can only get across this bridge by train. Otherwise, let's zoom out and zoom out and zoom out and zoom out and zoom out. To get to Barmouth by car, you've got to go across this funny little wooden toll bridge and back along this road. Or you can park here and get the train across. Actually, you may be able to walk across here. It says footbridge toll, so maybe you can walk across here, which will be quite fun. I'll have a look and see if I can find a map of that in a moment. And it also talks about the Fairbourne Railway, which is something which I've not been along, but I think this is a narrow gauge railway, so I'll do a little bit of research in that in a moment and show you. So here are the walks that I'm recommending. Up here, this is where I say you may be able to cut corner off along this ridge. So this comes round here past Breichthie, the Black Elbow. So you come up Forththie, the Black Road, round the Black Elbow, up onto the ridge here, up onto one summit here, down again, up onto another summit at Tiraimau, the Great Peaks, and you've got this fabulous view out in this direction. Round here, then take a choice, down the pony track and home, or round Cader. Let's just look what the map says. Let's go into it. 25,000. I'll send you some copies of this map. So this one says that if you're coming on that path, it's 7.63 miles. Well, that's on the map. So the DTM distance, it says, is 7.75 miles and total ascent 2,000 feet. And there's a few nice little things to get your heart and lungs going. If we look at this one, DTM distance 9.5 miles, it's going to turn out to be 10. And this is the saddle where I'm suggesting you get out on the pony track, or it can go to the top of Cader and all the way down. So 9.5, 10 miles, total ascent 3,000 feet. Okay, I think that's that for now. I'll go and do a little bit of research and put all this into an email to you. Oh, just for other references. So, panning out a little bit. So here's the top of Cader, and all the books say there are 3 ways up Cader, which is up the pony track to the top, up Foxes to the top, and this is the scree slope, which is, I say, pretty horrible. And the Minforth path, the car park for Minforth is down here somewhere, and it comes up round Llyn Cai and up to the top. If you really wanted to summit Cader, and you don't want to do this, then the way to do it would be possibly to stay at Minforth. I've not stayed at Minforth, and do that. We will in August, what we will be doing is we're staying down here somewhere, and at 1 o'clock in the morning we'll be coming up here, up the pony track, up to the top, getting here at sunrise, coming down to Minforth, and we will have left the van here, and from there we'll be driving home. But the way that I always go is I park here at Llyn, and if I was just wanting to summit, I would probably come up here and up to the top and down again. But a really lovely but somewhat long walk is to come across the valley here, and round here up onto the Black Road, and then up to the saddle, and at the saddle I come back down here again, and that loop is around about 12 miles, and again you won't see a soul. So that's a little tour around the area.